Brandon, how are you today?
Outstanding, Richie. How about yourself up there in good old Long Island?
Good. So, let me tell you this, that Val is kind of busy in the training thing. He's going to try to make it, though.
Uh-huh.
So I want to engage with you a little bit about what your thoughts are. Hold on a second. I got to get this. About what your thoughts are, what's going on in the industry right now.
Okay.
Like, what do you think about that?
Okay. Well, currently in the industry, we all have been hit a little bit. Some were not prepared than others, but
Right.
for those dealerships or
Oh, I
automotive.
got Val.
Oh, okay.
Here I am. Here I am. Good morning.
So,
Or
Val, welcome on
good
board. So we
afternoon.
were talking about what's going on with the industry right now
Uh-huh.
with coronavirus.
Yeah.
And what my thoughts are, appointment setting is the most important thing. And training when those appointments come in
Right.
and inspecting the BDC is one of the most important things. So I want you and Brandon to engage about the BDC part and what Brandon does.
Correct.
Right?
Brandon, how you doing? Long time.
Pretty good, Val. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. God blessed.
Good, good. Well, going by what Richie says, what I was going to is that, as you know, Val, there were dealerships who were prepared, maybe not using it as much as they liked, but when they would on their websites or on their advertising say that you can shop, buy, trade your way, expressway. They called it many things, but we'll do everything online, bring you the vehicle, or service will come pick it up and bring you a loaner. Those dealerships, even though they got hit like everybody else, they already had processes in place really to work with it. But the ones that did not, they're the ones that I found out were scrambling. And how do I know? In Atlanta, I use really the members of the Chamber of Commerce. We have 18 dealerships, so I belong to 8 different commerces.
Okay.
They do calls for me. If they see something on somebody's website and they call that BDC and that person doesn't know anything, you know as well as I do, you're only going to get so many touches, so many communiques, and they're already out of the game immediately. So when Richie was talking about BDC, the first thing that I'm finding out is many BDC and many BDC managers don't even know what's on their own website.
Yeah. Yeah. They tend to not really dig in, and especially the directors. I mean, the role of the internet director at one time, they were in charge of all the marketing. They were in charge of, making sure that all the leads were coming in, make sure they're getting good leads, bad leads, getting credit for the leads. And it seemed that went to the wayside. A lot of stuff changed over the years. I work with a company called Absolute Results, and Absolute Results, they have their own BDC that reaches out for the dealers. And what they've been really doing in the past 45 days to 60 days is they just been reaching out to all their dealers' customer base, not to entice them to buy a car, not to entice them to do anything, just to let them know we're here in the event they need any service, any parts. They also just touching bases, just a soft touch, make sure the family's okay during this epidemic that's going on right now, or the pandemic that's going on right now. I feel that with all BDCs, that's what they should be doing. Because it's been really, they're doing it a lot in Canada because they're from Canada, and it's working a lot. As a matter of fact, they're getting ready to start opening up and start doing some training again, getting back into the dealerships. And has it changed? You bet. It's changed a lot. More than ever, online is really critical now, because now a lot of people can do all their online shopping. Just like Genesis of Canada, Genesis of Canada, they're 100% online. They're the concierge. So what they do is you call into a Genesis dealership, and they actually give you your pricing, application online. They do everything online, and they deliver the car within 72 hours, with approval and everything. So everything's done, and all they do is they kind of do it like the Carvana type of thing, but
Mhm.
they're doing a little bit different, which they're being pretty successful. They rolled it out last year, the middle of last year, and this year alone, they really are stepping up their game. I know that the whole industry has changed considerably. I know that with all this COVID-19, it's not going to be the same. We know there's always going to be social distancing now.
Sure.
I have a Harley, okay? So I had to get a new battery yesterday. So I went to my Harley dealership to get that battery. And they're working by appointment. It says, in order for you to see a bike, in order for you to come in, we need to have an appointment. You have to work by appointment only, which is great. It's good for the salesperson. It's good for the dealership. And most importantly, it's good for the consumer. Because with the consumer, they have an appointment. Now their expectations, the customer's expectations are high. Now they know, hey, I'm coming in. I'm going to spend X amount of time here, whether it be 2 hours, 3 hours. But actually, in reality, with an appointment, everybody could give that detailed attention to that particular customer, which is really great.
You hit it on the head, Val. And I'm glad we're in 3 different states.
Yes.
We're slowly opening up different ways. I know that Richie out there in New York, they wish that their governor would allow them to move a little bit quicker. But we're in 3 different states. Here's something that I thought about. Maybe you folks, being brilliant, already have the answer. We have representatives when people do come into a retail establishment. And since we're in this vertical of automobiles, let's stick with that.
Okay.
The customer comes in for appointment, like you said, Val. My job from the dealership's principal, or I belong to a group, they say that you have to take someone's temperature as you're doing a mask. All right. I don't know if you've heard about some people doing temperature. Here's the thing. Here's my question, though. What happens if a customer does have a mediocre or bad experience? What gives you the right to take my temperature? Are you a medical expert? In other words, if you read 98 point something and really I have 100, I'm just seeing a whole lot of states maybe set up for attorney general's mess. Maybe I'm wrong, but has anybody thought about that? Has an answer about that? Or
I don't think it's really been, taking a temperature and reading a temperature is one thing. It has to be case by case. Say I walked into a dealership and I read, 98.3. And then you come into the dealership and just saying you end up with a 100. Well, you have a slight fever. What's to prevent them to say you're sick, you're not sick? It's summertime. We could be overheated. I really don't know because I'm not a medical,
that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going.
So who are we to say, well, you got the virus, you don't got the virus, you're sick, we can't let you in?
You got it.
To be honest, what do you think the dealers are going to do? What do you think most retail stores, whether it's a car dealership, whether it's a retail, whether it's a restaurant, are they going to turn that person down because they want the business?
If they don't turn them down and we find out that they did have something, now I'm just simply saying whether we do or do not, it just seems like since we are not medical experts, I just wonder in each state, has someone thought about somebody, because in America, we love to sue. So has anybody thought about that, or do we have to be medical experts?
You got to disclose. They're going to have to sign a disclosure because the HIPAA. You got the HIPAA right there. So to release any type of medical. Now you're absolutely right. I think personally, it's going to be a slow transition into this new way of life for Americans. That's my personal opinion. I feel that the digital world is going to take off like crazy, and it already has. I have a dealer that's right here just close to me that I work really close with. They're doing phenomenal numbers. They did last month, they did 183 cars for $580,000 in gross profits, right? And they're working by appointment only. So these people are coming in. Are they going to, now that they're coming in, we all know that they visit 1.2 dealerships before buying a car, right? So once they're there, they're going to buy. So these are serious buyers that are coming through the dealership. As a matter of fact, it says his closing ratio has doubled just by working by appointment only, which we all know when you work by appointment only, you're going to close 50% anyways.
Let me share something with you guys, something important about digital. So we made a partnership, our company did, right? With Cox Automotive. The partnership goes every, Shop Smart, every lead I get, if the customer opts in and they pay for that service, it's going to automatically, the lead go to Dealer Track. Okay. With Cox Automotive, it's going to be ready in August. They're actually building the stuff throughout my servers. All right. So that's a great lead source they got. All right. I also have an automation with artificial intelligence on my website for chat. That's going to be up on our Shop Smart in the next couple of days. Okay. So I'm seeing a lot of traffic across all brands through the clickable platform, right? Up on digital. But not only are we seeing it on websites, we're seeing it on blogs, driving sales. I mean, all this information that's out there is up.
Okay.
And what we do for a living is we provide a dealer leads, right? If the dealer does not deliver 15 to 18%, I'm announcing we have a corporate trainer, which is Brandon and Val Mazon, right? So now the dealership can get those kind of people in there to get to that level. Because if I have ABC Motors at 21% delivery ratio and I sell you the lead, CDE, and you're only at 4%, there's a problem, right?
Good
so
point.
That's where the trainers come in. My product is not a lead gen only. I didn't get into the lead gen business based on what's going on in digital to just be a lead provider. I'm not really interested because every dealership blames the lead. They don't blame their staff. And it's about the training, how to do and what to do with the lead. And that's why I have the e-learning platform, because there we're gonna train our staff on how to use our product. I'm gonna do all the training on how to use it. So I'm not just like a regular vendor. I have the resources to train them how to use it. And when it doesn't work, that's when you got to get live training, right?
Good. I love it.
So,
now, Val, the reason why I brought that up.
The digital space is growing up, but the digital space has two components that without that, it's not going to work. BDC. And what's the process when you make that appointment and they walk in there? So we have two of the best trainers that they are. Just to let everybody know, Val was a corporate trader for CallSource, right? So I've put his videos up to CallSource for a while. So he's got massive experience in this. And Brandon's got massive experience all over the dealership. So they could inspect the whole thing. So I want you guys to engage about your training and why productivity is so important. And I got something to say. One thing I'm gonna let you two guys engage. Social selling. The other day I said, if I would be a salesman, I have this tool, right? StreamYard. What would I do? Very simple. I would have my live interview with my previous customers, because now they're sharing it on their social media. And now I'm going to get, that's the key of prospecting. Today, prospecting is right on here. That's the key.
Correct.
So I have a training that's a complimentary training that I'm inviting Brandon and Val on Zoom, and I'm going to post it in the 30 car group, right? The reason for that is because those guys I met and they really want to get into social selling and all that. So I'm going to do a Zoom tomorrow at 1 o'clock, right? To do training for about half hour, 45 minutes and give them hints and see what they think about this. Now I'm going to let you two guys engage at what you do the best, which is training.
Okay, thank you. Val, I just wanted to get you to say what you did say about that political stuff. Not that I wanted to be political, but the key thing, you did say it, appointments. See, I just wanted that owner or general manager to think, boy, yeah, maybe my people are not prepared. But if I have an appointment and I treat that appointment the way he or she expects through that customer experience, yeah, you got a win-win. So
Right.
so that's where I was going. But you said the answer anyway for it. So here's my question to you. Since we are now in this new world and we can do a lot of things online when it comes to the process, is there anything new or different from the business office, finance office side of it, as far as maybe e-signing or challenges trying to get products and services out?
Not that I've seen recently. I haven't been in a dealership probably in about 2 months now. Ever since I was doing a lot in the Northeast, I was up in Manhattan. I was going to Oyster Bay. I mean, I had like about a good 10, 12 gigs going on back in March. And then that's where they kind of cuffed me and I kind of slipped away. But I've been keeping in touch with some of my dealers. It's business. A lot of the dealers are still trying to do business as normal. They're not really changing their business model, which really needs to change. And I think it's going to have to come from the manufacturers. I think the manufacturers are going to start stepping up their game. They're going to look for consultants. They're going to look for new ways of marketing themselves to the public. I believe just in their database alone, they got plenty of customers there. Look at that. You got the 0% for 84 months, right? You got the no payments for 6 months. Everybody's figuring, well, 6 months down the road, we should be past this. I don't make any payments. That helps me out during this lull in my work. 0 interest. I could roll out of my car. What you got to be able to offer is that customer experience. You got to be different. You got to be different than the rest. You got to stand out. Even in my trainings, I always make sure that when they're doing those phone calls or they're meeting and greeting, they got to be different. They can't be like every other dealership or other salesperson, because then you're put into that same category. You're just a salesperson.
No.
I like that BMW does these they call them geniuses. And when you go to a BMW store, there's no salesperson. There's just a product knowledge person that just goes out there, shows them the product. If they're still interested in the product, then they come in and they turn it to a salesperson, but they don't call them a salesperson. They call them just an associate, just an associate. And then the associate sits down and goes over different numbers or, different financing terms. But in reality, it all has to start with setting that appointment. The appointments are going to be worth more today than ever before. Like I say, I have a really good dealership that I've worked over the years. As a matter of fact, I trained him in the auto industry about 25 years ago, and he's pretty successful. But he still calls me. We still go back and forth. And he said that his appointments are shutting at 78%. 78% are closing, which is great. He knows that now. He's changed his dialogue a little bit. He's getting a little bit more information. He got pretty much the whole package. What I think that needs to happen now is I think everybody needs to do an application online, do everything before they even come to the dealership, so they cut all that extra mess. You go negotiate, do whatever you need to do, but transparency is the number one. When you're transparent and then you got everything, Genesis, they're doing everything online. The last thing they do, they send one product specialist. They don't even call them a salesperson to sign all the contracts, all the paperwork. And then they go ahead and deliver the car and they go over things. They walk around, they do all the things they need to do. They leave the car there. They pick up their trade-in and they flatbed it back. So they flatbed the car there. Now, prior to that, if they want to do a test drive, they'll bring out they won't bring out any old car. They have certain cars for demos, like
correct. Like models, yes, correct.
So they'll take a demo out there. If you want a Genesis a certain model number, then they'll take one out there. They'll leave it for you for 24 hours. They'll get a copy of your insurance, driver's license, of course. You already have an application online to see who you are, and then now you can drive it for free for 24 hours. That's better than taking that 20-minute test drive. That gives an opportunity to drive it the way they drive it normally if they're going to work, or if they're going to, say, to the store, or to take the kids, or traveling to grandma's house, whatever the case may be.
No, I like it.
I think that's a good business model. I also heard recently, talking to some of my some of my other trainers, because I work with a company that's in 19 countries, right? New Zealand, they were telling me, I can't remember it was Toyota or Honda. They're going with that same thing. They're going to a one price. I don't know if that's the right thing. They took back all their franchises and then they re-signed them up, so that way there's no more competitive. Whatever incentives are out there, everybody has the same.
Sure.
I think that's a new way to go. You want me to tell you why?
So the PMA has nothing to do with it, or there's no more PMAs?
No, it's just if you go to this dealership, you're going to pay the same as if you went to the dealership 50 miles away. The incentives will be the same, so you'll get the same incentives through the manufacturer. But what's going to happen is now you have to step up your game with customer service, because that you could buy that car at the same price anywhere. So that online reputation is what's going to take precedence. That online reputation is now people are going to say, just like when we go to a restaurant. What happens when we go to a restaurant? You look it up. Oh, this is a 3-star or a 5-star. Oh, you're going to go to the 5-star. You're going to look at the reviews. That's what I feel that's coming within the next 2 to 3 years, honestly.
Well, one thing, and then I know Richie wants to get it back here. Just from your experience now that I hear that it's international too, what's your feeling? What's the feeling out there when we now start offering payments at 82, 90 months? There's some that's even over 100 months. Is that good, or should we be automatically talking about leasing?
I would automatically talk about leasing. Me personally, I would try to lease as much as I could, because you're going to still capture your service, whether service comes from the manufacturer, such as BMWs, or whether you buy the Ford Care, or you buy the maintenance care from Ford. They're going to still capture all of that. They're still going to capture all of that. But what's going to happen? You have your repeat business, and that 78% of the people that service their car at the same dealership they bought it are loyal to that dealership. Whereas if 10% are not, 10% are only loyal to that dealership where they bought the car, if the service isn't it somewhere else.
No, you got it. How about you, Rich? What do you think out in Long Island? I mean, does it make sense to be signing people up at 90 plus months a month? I know you're trying to get to a payment, but boy, that's crazy.
No, you know what? It doesn't make sense to do that. And you know what? Val's right. I agree with Val. Everything is leasing. I mean, I don't know if anybody knows this, but New York penetration on leasing is 90%. Okay. Now, some used car superstores out here, they do that with the credit unions, and that's been going on for quite some time.
Right.
So, they do that. But I want to talk more important on what Val said. It's going to take about 2 years of reputation. Let me tell you why social selling, interviewing customers on your live stream builds your reviews and builds testimonials, and you get referrals.
Got it.
Let me tell you why. If a customer gives you a bad review that went on live and went over everything, you can get that file and send it to Yelp. You can get that file and they'll fix that review, because the customer might be upset after they get home. After a week later, they tell a friend and they says, oh, what's the first thing when you tell a friend, I paid $40,000 for a car? You paid too much. They don't even ask you, what kind of car did you get?
Right.
And most people don't really tell you. Everybody tells you they paid less than what they really paid.
So watch this. This is a reputation builder, a testimonial builder, but it's also a repair. A repair. So you got a 3-pronged process doing this. By the way, other industries are starting to do this. I follow different industries. Okay. Like, for an example, there's a big industry that a lot of people don't know about, which is Valvoline. Okay. That's a big industry. Another industry is JetBlue. That's another industry. The catering business, that's another industry, huge industry. The nursery, you know, when I love the outsides of my yard. The nursery business, very big on testimonials and reviews.
Right.
By the way, there's other industries that are doing this and have this testimonials on live stream, on YouTube live stream. And guess what? Now, when you get indexed on a bad review, if you set it up right, you're going to show up with their video. So guess what?
Gotcha.
You're discrediting their review.
Gotcha. No.
Okay. So it's not, if we really do this, it's not going to be 2 years from now. You're going to be able to get great reviews. CSI is going to go spike high because there is really not a lot of haggling when you do stuff online. So your CSI is going to get good. Your reviews are going to get great. Your retention is going to go crazy off the walls.
Yes.
Because that customer doesn't have that experience like they did.
You hit it on the head. And before, because I have a meeting that I need to get to, CSI, retention, all those things are great. But you know what we've been talking in this industry for decades? Transparency. We always talk about transparency.
Right.
What better way than what you just said, Rich, to have all the transparency right in front of you?
Right, correct. Right. And it's so easy today. I'm telling you, salespeople that want to sell on social, just start interviewing your customers with their sales process. If they say something that might be not, it doesn't matter. You can fix it. You know,
Right.
It's very important, this social selling right now.
Yeah.
And that is a great process. All right. That process has been out there for a while on reputation management, on
Right.
testimonials, reviews, and the owners of these industries learn how to fix their process. Okay. So wait to get it delivered. The next couple of days, invite them to live. I'm going to say something else. Why live? Because the age group that's buying automobiles is 25 to 35, 40. They buy the most cars in that time frame.
Yep.
Okay. Because they have great credit and they're, you know, ambitious. You know, they want a better car. They see the neighbor. So you know what? You got to maximize this opportunity, and everybody loves going on live.
Yep.
Why is that? Because they're seeing themselves. They're on video. Everything is video today. TikTok is going to bring that to the next level, guys.
You're absolutely
To
right.
the next level. And if you're not on video, no good. You know, years ago when I was on social media, and you know, Val, I've been with you a lot of people don't know this, but I know you 6-7 years, right? When I started with you, I introduced you right away to Brandon, right? So I mean, I've been with you as a strategic partner with you on training a long time,
Yes.
right? Now it's very important because guess what? The BDC, that's one of the main focuses right now, because without that, you're not going to move that needle, okay? Because it's appointment setting. Here in New York, there's 1 or 2 salespeople in a dealership, and all they're doing is appointments.
Mm.
And they're the successful ones, and they're going to continue to be the successful ones. You know, I'll say, you know, change with the times or get left behind. Well, now the times are really changing.
Right.
Oh, yes.
Now, you know, the United States is going to change as a whole, not only in the car industry,
Every
but in all industries. I mean, look at what's going on. You know, I don't know how you guys are doing, and I know that in the Northeast, working with Absolute Results, I got a lot of stuff ready to go. I'll be up there, you know, hopefully in the next month or so, but we're just waiting for this stuff to open up. California, we're starting to get to the second stage. The second stage is still not where we want to be. We need to open it back up, but doing the social distancing. And I think it's all about appointments. I'm going to reiterate it, because I know appointments work since I was selling cars. Because appointment, you knew who you were dealing with. You already knew what you're going to do, have the car ready. It just cuts all the downtime.
No, you hit it on that.
You guys coming in on the car, you're ready. All you have to do is know the product knowledge, present the car, make them feel comfortable, give them that customer experience, and then they're ready to just flop and they're ready to sign. It isn't about price. People
no, you're right. You're right.
What happens is a lot of the dealers think it's all about price because they don't know how to train the people. They don't know how to set how can I say, expectations, build that value. You know, Brandon, you come from the same cloth that I come. You come from Ford. That's all I learned when I was a kid. When I was young, I knew how to, you know, present anything from a Fusion to a F-150 to a freaking Tempo, you know. And it's all about that. It's all about still giving them that experience.
That's it.
So, you know, everybody calls a customer and they're saying the same thing. You want to buy, you want to buy. No, you want to build a relationship. You want to talk to them. Say, hey, you know, hey, I'd like to invite you into our one-day sale event, you know, where we could give you your best case scenario. You could always say no later. You know, when you touch it like that, we want to go over, give you your best case scenario. You know, do you still own that 2013 F-150? Yeah. How many miles you have in it? Wow, great. Been a great truck, right? Hey, I'm just going to ask you if we could take your car in and get you to a new one and keep your payment about the same, or maybe even, you know, lower your driving cost. Is that something you might be interested in? Yeah. I go, well, let me tell you what. I'd like to invite you in for a one-day, you know, to our day event. Okay, where we'll give you our best case scenario. You can always say no later. It's a no option. It's a no option. It's a no obligation option review. Sorry.
Option. No, you hit it.
And when you say those words, you know, you could always say no later. You could no obligation option review. All those things really work. And all those things that people say, people are open. Okay, there's no pressure. When's a good time for us to get together? And you set the appointment. They come in. You're ready for them. Here's you already got most of your information on your F-150 already because they've been servicing it there or whatever the case may be. Now you show them, you know, the new redesign, you know, the new and improved, you know, 2020 F-150, and then you can tell them, you know, here's what's happening and your cost. You got to do the driving of costs. Sometimes it's not just your payment. Maybe your payment went up $25, but now you're saving on maintenance, which on average after 3-4 years is $80 a month. Now you're saving on gas because we're always getting better gas mileage. And now you're looking new and clean and you're worry free. Gas and go for the next 3 years. You know,
no, you got it. But before I get out of here, I got to go. But Val, you're right. We as thought providers, coaches, trainers, whatever you want to call ourselves, we need to get to these people to get them to understand that the first few seconds are most important, but once we get that out of the way, right, now all we're saying by the statement that you just used, Val, right, how can we earn your business? This is what we do. This is how we operate. And a whole lot of people fail to give them that value statement before they go to the next step, which is asking for, and they wonder why they're not successful. You got to separate yourself. Absolutely. Explain to me, why are you different? And now earn the right to move forward. That's how I teach.
Earn the right.
You got to. But Richie, I do got to go. But you said tomorrow, you said we're going to be back?
Yeah, tomorrow we're going to do a Zoom. It's not going to be live like this, but it's going to be a Zoom training on 30 car group. Okay. Right? Brand Taylor's group. And they all want to learn social selling and all that. So we're going to go over that. Okay. And don't leave, Val. I want to talk to you a little bit about social selling.
Okay.
Integrating it with BDC. Okay. Where is it and where the lead comes in, and building a funnel on your live through a company called Infusionsoft, right? So you boost it a little bit, $25 or $30, right? And you get the views of that custom audience to dealerships, and they click learn more, and that's the conversion, right? So I want to talk to you about that.
Excellent.
Sounds good. Well, Brandon, it's been a pleasure.
Same here as always. Be safe.
You too. Safe,
you
strong.
Too, Richie, be safe. Okay. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye. So anyway, Val, Infusionsoft has the integration for funnels, right? So you can do a live, clap it on there. And now when that live on social selling, that referral, you know, that testimonials from the customer, their customers are going to see it. Click here for more information. about my experience. Bang. Now you're getting leads. So it's becoming a lead gen, and you're increasing your testimonials and all that, but you need a good BDC to handle that.
Yeah, that's the key right there.
So that's the key. It's a BDC is actually going to blow up more with social selling.
Right.
Okay. So it's very, very important. And I want to engage with you because you're the co-host now here at Automotive Training News, right? And let me tell you this, your process for the last 6.5 years since we've been partners on the training side, right, is great. I've seen you turn stores around that have not been good, and throughout the years you've turned a lot of dealerships that were in the red. Okay, right. That's the whole idea. And Brandon's done the exact same thing. He's taking stores that have been nowhere and turned around. That's what I call a trainer. That's what I call somebody. Not somebody that takes a store that's doing good business and brings them up higher. I'm talking about taking stores from the red into the green. So go over that process.
Right. I'm going to tell you the best thing for all dealerships to do right now is go back and do their data mining. Do data mining, scrub it, get the best of the best, and then just go from there. It's all about data mining, because they don't have to, with the way costs are, with the way margins are right now, it's really a great way to jumpstart your dealership in today's market. It's that data mining, it's that BDC, it's getting on the phone with these people, building that relationship. It said that 82% of customers can't remember their salesperson's name 1 year later. Why is that? Why is that? They know where they bought the car because they have the nameplate there and they remember where they bought the car. But as a salesperson, they don't remember their name. Why is that? Because there was no relationship building. There was no follow-up. There was no happy birthdays. There was no, hey, now that you've driven your car, for the past 3 months, is there any questions you might have that I can help you out with? Have you came in for your first oil change? I just wanted to make sure, do you need me personally to set that appointment for you? So when he comes in, what happens? A customer comes in to get an oil change. Sometimes they have a cousin with them, or they have somebody else that comes in with them. Now that's an opportunity to meet somebody new and to continue to grow your business, to continue to build that relationship. But relationships is what it's all about. At anything, whatever you're doing at anything, relationships is what makes a difference. And if you don't build that relationship, and you got to remember, the average person buys about 12 cars in a lifetime, right? So you got a husband buys 12 cars. You got the wife that buys 12 cars. Now the kids come to the picture. They're going to grow up. If you've been their vehicle supplier for that family, what's going to happen there? Where's the opportunity? Another 12 cars, another 12 cars. So in one family of 4, there's a potential of 48 car deals over the lifetime. And if you're in this business as a career, and I always say it's a business within a business. The beautiful thing about it is you don't have to put a lot of money in to invest. You don't have to invest in the inventory. You don't have to invest in the phones. You don't have to invest. All you have to invest is a pen, look sharp, invest some time in learning your product, and invest some time in your customers. That's the main thing. That's the main thing right there. Is that relationship building. That's what a lot of dealerships don't do. They got a BDC. Yeah, pound them. Just get them in. But where's the hook? Why? Where's the customer experience? What are you telling the customers? Are you telling the customer, hey, you're ready to buy? Come on in. We'll make you a great deal. We'll save you thousands of dollars.
Right. And and the other thing is that I'm going to tell you is the BDC and mining is so important. With Look Smart and Clickable, we put people on PPC, but we don't use just Google AdWords, because if we would use Google AdWords, you're paying a fortune. We use big data. We have 2 warehouses in Phoenix, right? And that I have the Institute out of Phoenix, right? So we have 2 warehouses in Phoenix, right, that do mining of data. So when we do an ad, we do the real audience. It's the big data. And if you look up the term using Google AdWords with big data, it's much cheaper and it's much bigger results. When you have the data, and data is king. Like cash is king in the car business. Well, guess what? In digital marketing, data is king. It's the same thing as cash.
Right.
Right. So
Well,
that's where the
right
conversion happens.
You've already invested. You've already got that customer in the first time. You already invested the 1,000, the 800, 1,000, get that customer into your dealership the first time. Now, where you could continue to capitalize on that 800,000.
Right. Correct. And you know what, Val? Tomorrow we're gonna have the Zoom. We're gonna all do it. It's gonna be 25 minutes, a half hour. These guys really need our help. They're in stores, small, medium, and large, and big automotive, and they need our help.
Okay.
And we do workshops. I do workshops with Fran all the time. So, I want to really help them with social selling because that's what they want to learn. So I'm looking forward to this with you and Brandon tomorrow. And Val, thanks a lot for always being there for me throughout the years. You've always been not just a partner, you've been a friend, and your training is amazing. And I mean, any dealership that's in the market for a BDC trainer, sales trainer, I mean, really, he integrates the sales and the BDC together.
Right.
So it's a great communication process.
That's your tie-in. That's the tie-in.
Yeah, it's not just, and you know what? He was a great car guy when he was in the car business, and now he's a great, amazing trainer. When he was at Call Source, he turned it around completely. It became like a monster. So, Val, thanks again for being here. Brandon's not here, but I want to thank Brandon.
How are you guys doing up there in New York? How are you guys doing?
Well, everything's shut down, Val. It's like it's not ready yet, and it's very strict here because we had a lot of people. You know what happened here in New York was real simple. People from Long Island work in Manhattan, so there's massive transit, and people from Manhattan also work. So, it blew up here because of the population and doing massive transit. So you got to understand. I mean, you're talking about millions of people traveling every day.
Yeah, no, I know. I was right there. I was in
all over the place. So it's like Florida and Georgia. It's different. I mean, Florida and Georgia is a little bit different. People are in cars. It's not this kind of subway system and Penn Station and Long Island Railroad.
I get it.
So it really blew up. That's what happened. But we're trying to make it happen.
Okay. Well, God be with you guys, and your guys' mayor is amazing.
Yep.
He's doing a good job, and just keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully everything opens up, and I can get back to the Northeast because I know I got a lot of dealers that are just waiting me to get back out there. Got a lot of BMW dealers. I got some.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. There's a lot of network out here. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I definitely will see you hopefully here in the near future, but we'll talk a little bit tomorrow. Okay. Take care,
everybody. Thanks, Val. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.